Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Love Scope. Hi, Carolina. Nice to have you join me. Yes, I decided to do one today. There it goes. Hi. Nice to have you here. I'm so glad we're talking, by the way. I love the fact we're on partnership on this. Okay, so for all those joining me, thank you for coming in. This is, wow, it looks so washed out. I guess the sunlight isn't coming through as warm as I'd like it to. Welcome to my daily Love Scope. I'm choosing to do this earlier today because one, I've got commitments later on. Yes, same. And two, because I'm experimenting with a new timeline, so I thought I'd do noon Pacific time, see how that works. So it's 3 p.m. East Coast and 8 p.m. UK time. So we'll see if lots of people come in. If you're here for the first time, thank you for joining me. Please make sure you tap the little guy in the corner and tap on to follow me if you haven't done this before. And of course, if you're regular followers, I know you know what to do, which is tap the screen for hearts and also share on Twitter and invite your followers on Periscope. That's what we're on, Periscope. So I've been immersed in looking at how to do the in-stream video for Facebook, and that's a whole other animal, and it's very restrictive, and it's not as good as Periscope. So right now I'm sticking to this because I love Periscope. So thank you. Tap the screen, yes. And for those of you coming in, please thank you for joining me. My name is Barry Selby. I am a relationship expert because I've got a book. That makes me an expert, doesn't it? That's what people tell me. Truth is, I am a devotee to this subject. I'm passionate about helping my clients, mostly women, to own their feminine magnificence, heal their hearts, and attract amazing relationships. And I am known as the heartbreak repair specialist because what I specialize in is helping my clients heal their hearts first so they attract healthy love out there. My book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover, is a bestseller. So that's a claim to fame, which I like. And all my information you can find out about me on social media and on my website is all Barry Selby. So barryselby.com, barryselby.com. And also, hi Angela, nice to have you here. We'll talk about that later on. There's a chapter in my book that speaks to this, but I want to talk about it freeform. And that is the art of spiritual relationship. First of all, hi. It's kind of like, what does that mean? And we're going to get to that. Well, thank you, Caroline. I appreciate the love and support. So please, yeah, share this with your followers, your friends, your fans, your family, and everything else, and tap on the screen for hearts. The reason I'm saying this now is because in a conversation with Carolina this morning, I am going to be launching something next week. Shh, secret. That's going to be, well, won't be that secret, I'm telling you right now. There'll be the conversation about spirituality in life. And so I thought, why not start today with that topic in relationship to relationship, since that's my work. Thank you for sharing. And what I want to talk to is not what you may think about spiritual relationship. What I'm going to speak to, or I should say what I'm going to invite you to consider, and you can definitely answer and respond and come back to me, is what is relationship to you? Sorry, what would be spirituality in relationship to you? And I'm going to ask that question first, but I'm also going to plant some seeds for you to think about. Because when I talk about spirituality, it includes, but it's not limited to, praying and meditation and yoga, stuff like that. It's also about being autonomous. And another A word is authenticity. Because for me, being spiritual isn't necessarily about the worshipful stuff out there. It's about how you are in here. And in relationship especially, if you can learn how to be more self-focused, not self-centric, not self-centered, but self-focused, to be more authentic, more aligned, and more connected to who you really are, you bring a whole different experience to your partner and your partner to you in a relationship. So that's what we'll talk about. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't get, as I've seen so many times. Just watching the online dating scene and the TV soap operas, oh my God. And a lot of people putting out articles and posts on that about how to get dates. And I'm going to say this now, but some people are going to be very, not going to like this, because a lot of my collaborators, thank you, I'm glad you like it, a lot of my collaborators out there in terms of people in the same arena as I am, that are relationship coaches, dating coaches, matchmakers, that conversation. I tend to go counter to a lot of them. A lot of them I love dearly, they're really good at what they do. But I'm not in the mode of saying, I need to get you to find your partner and I'll get you the right one. Because first of all, I don't presume to be that smart or that insightful. But I do presume to know who you are if you're doing the work like I am. So in the area of relationship, I talk a lot about my work about interdependence versus codependence, which is a very simple and powerful model about learning how to evolve in your quality of relationships. So you're not looking for someone to save you. You're actually looking for someone who can match you and grow with you. That's a key, by the way, of spiritual relationship. It's a relationship that grows together. The partners grow together. And I won't settle for less. So trust you won't either. So thank you. I appreciate it. I love the fact you two are so much supporting me. I love this is stuff. Interdependence, yes. Because interdependence, sorry, I don't want to say these people, oh, that's, see the faces and the names to go with it. So, Aga Sunrise. I don't want your name. I mean, you can tell me your name in a moment, because I don't know what AGA is. Presume anything about not Agatha or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, so let me continue, please. And I saw the fact you're a femininity coach, which is awesome. I do that in my work too, because I'm an so Aga or Asia. Okay, it's hard. You can't tell me how to pronounce that in there, I'm sure. So I'll just say hi. In the context of conscious relationship and spiritual relationship, yes, it is. I just don't want to abuse it and mess it up by saying it wrong. So so I'm going to say it's Aja. That sounds much more pretty, perhaps. Anyway, right. Not looking for someone to save you. Yes, sorry. Thank you, Angel, for putting me back on track. I appreciate that. Aha. Right. Okay. We'll spend the whole time trying to get that right. When you do your scope, you can tell me, and I'll watch your scope. That'll be easier. So, autonomy and having your own place in relationship. We are so trained by society, or should say programmed, is probably a better way of putting it, by society and by the culture for the last 60, 70 years, to look for somebody else to make us feel good, to look for somebody else to make us feel better, to look for somebody else, you know where I'm going with this, to basically be dependent upon somebody else to make our happiness work. And it's a death trap. Well, that's an extreme way of saying it, but truth is, it is a trap. Because we fall into the place that we don't believe we can make ourselves happy, which is such a lie. So for me, spirituality and the art of spiritual relationship is that we start with ourselves. We start with who we are. Because first of all, when you do that, you won't become dependent on the other person. But secondly, you'll be way more attractive to the other person. Go figure. So, if you're looking for someone to make you happy, if someone's looking at me to make them happy, I would see the fact they weren't happy in the first place, not very attractive. 2, I'd see their neediness, not very attractive. And 3, I'd feel so leaned on and pressured, not very attractive. So, if you're looking to attract a healthy relationship, why not be attractive to that relationship? I mean, this is so logical, but it's the truth. So for me, spiritual relationship and being in that spiritual quality is really starting with love with self. Because my perception of spirituality is that God, if you would call it that, high self, spirit, the great one, whatever you call it, isn't out there, it's in here. And when you get that and you choose that in your way of living, then that means you also see that through the lens to other people. And your way of relating to other people in relationship changes. I believe for the better. So, thank you. I'm glad you're on the same page. And I know that some people will not like that, but a lot of people will. So I'm really sort of speaking out there to find who has alignment and agreement with this. So spiritual relationship starts with, and again, I'm talking about fundamentals right now. I can go deeper as we go through, and I might do this in future scopes as an ongoing series, as I have been encouraged by my friend Carolina and my accountability partner to own my spiritual understanding, focus, training, and bring that into my scopes. So it may end up becoming interwoven with relationships, or maybe separate from. Still playing with that. That's next week. Anyway, this conversation today, staying on track, it's so easy to get distracted, is that you start with yourself. You start with also taking responsibility for your own actions. Hi Kevin, good to have you here, sir. Take care of your own actions, taking responsibility for your own reactions, key one too, because it's so easy in our society. Your happiness is a choice. You have to have that first before you attract more happiness, and part of that is to do the work on yourself. I am well, sir. Thank you very much. And so, this consciousness or conscious relationship, spiritual relationship, starts with you being autonomous, as I said. But that includes not only appreciating, loving yourself and being happy with who you are. It's also, thank you for finding followers. It's also about not being reactive, or I should say, not defaulting to reactiveness to your partner, which many people do. Now, yes, having a response to them and sometimes being reactive does happen. But if every single time they do something that doesn't match what you want and you react to them, that's not consciousness, that's autopilot. And it's not a very good role to pilot either. It's the default automatic reactiveness. And again, it puts you in victimhood. Now, let me just speak to this for a second. I talked in previous scopes about codependence versus interdependence. One of the traits of codependence. Hi, Gail. So good to see you here. I feel I might see you today. One of the I was going to say, one of the keys. No, it's the right word. One of the traits. That's the word. One of the traits of codependence is being a victim of your partner, literally, because first you're dependent upon them to make you happy, on one direction, and the other direction is the second part is you react to everything that doesn't work for you from your partner, and you don't take your responsibility for your own actions, your own beingness, your own participation in that. So your partner says the wrong thing, or leaves the toothpaste cap off the toothpaste, or puts the toilet roll on backwards. Exactly, victim of partner, yes. So, and you become reactive to that. So instead of saying, honey, I wish you would do this differently, or I'd love to do it this way, or can we work out an agreement where we do the same thing? You go, you shouldn't have done this, and all this, and you get upset. That's reactiveness, and that is victimhood. Because basically it means your partner's unconscious behavior has control of your emotional reaction. You're not in charge. Deborah, good to see you, my love. Good to see you here. And yeah, and you get into blaming too. So the whole dance of relationship comes back to, can you be autonomous? Can you be focused here, loving first? Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad, yeah, don't look at your phone whilst you're driving, Deborah. I missed your scope at 11:11 this morning. I see you do that regularly. I'm very proud of your commitment to consistency. That's what I'm working on for next week. So, awesomeness. So, being in a conscious relationship and having a spiritual relationship starts with you. This is the first fundamental piece I'm teaching right now, apparently, is one that you're not codependent on you're not dependent on somebody else to make you happy. Yes, you love them making you happy, but you don't live or die by it. So you're not a victim of that. And the second thing is, again, that you're not in the place where something they do upsets you every single moment. So you're on the hair trigger and become a victim of their behavior emotionally. So if your partner leaves the toothpaste cap off and you like it on, you can say, honey, or my love, I appreciate the fact that you do this way, I like it this way. Can we work out a common agreement, or can we have two separate toothpaste tubes? There's solutions all the way through. So the lesson really here is, for a conscious spiritual relationship, you start by taking care of you. It's so simple in some ways, but so powerful, because some of us don't. And again, yes, not being a victim of their behavior. Thank you, Angela. So the piece I want to teach and make sure you get, if you're single especially, and if you're already in a relationship, to do this as well, is bringing your awareness inward here, so that when you're out in the world, you're not all just simply being a, well, let me put an example. You remember those old, what they call it? There were mines that were in the oceans. It's going back to First, Second World War. That were these big balls that had spikes sticking out. If you push the spike, when a ship hit the spike, it blew up the mine. That's kind of what people like, almost like porcupines or pin cushions. Except those pins, those things sticking out, are the barbs of their reactiveness. You know people like that, I'm sure. They're looking for someone. Yes, for a conscious spiritual relationship, you start by taking care of you. Yes. That's what a lot of people do in the world. When they're in a relationship, they are basically going to a relationship and they think they're being there to love their partner, but at the same time they come out with all these things sticking out that their partner can bump into and hurt them, and they react to that. And it's sad, to be honest. I've seen some people do this. I'm trying to think if I really did do this. I had some close brushes with this in the past. I haven't done it since, but I'm aware of this. And so when I talk about spiritual relationship, I'm really talking about how to live life autonomously in an authentic way that is healthy. So yes, it may at some point include, and I'm going to say, and this is going to be an ongoing conversation, I'm going to talk about this. There will be pieces about how you can meditate together and do other things spiritually together. I want to start at the bottom here, the simplest, most fundamental piece you can learn from, and I'm going to keep hammering this point home, I guess, on this scope. I'm not feeling a need to go any further than this one right now, because this scope stands on its own 2 feet with this realization and recommendation and recognition, is to really have this place of ownership of yourself. So if you're in a couple, and you're making a change because of this, for example, this scope, if you learn from this piece, is I just have an example. Somebody I know has a time limit on responses to texts, meaning that when they text their partner, if one doesn't get back to them like in the first hour, they start getting upset. That is sad to watch, and it's actually frustrating to watch, to be honest. But there are people who have that in relationships. I mean, use that as a model. And my recommendation to him was that when you do, like, if she doesn't get back to you in the first hour, she might have done something else. Her phone may be turned over. It may be in her pocket and she's not looking at it, or she could be at the gym, or whatever. But we set up rules, and we do it without realizing it. It's almost subconscious about how our partner should be working with us, being with us, responding to us, answering us. And then, just to reinforce that level of behavior, we have the same thing about ourselves, how we should be with our partner. And when we don't measure up, we beat ourselves up. Again, not being conscious, not being a spiritual relationship. In talking about this, I want to make sure you get this on so many levels. It's such a big piece, but so fundamental, that not only is it about how you react to your partner, of course I just realized I dropped this other piece in your lap, it's also about how you become reactive because what you didn't do for your partner. Because some of us, yes, I was one of these, had rules about how I had to be the ideal boyfriend. And if I didn't do that, I beat myself up. Separately, privately, and abusively, and emotionally. Because I was not being the best person I should be for my partner. And now she may not have noticed, well, she may have done that, but she didn't say anything about it. So I saved her the trouble of beating me up by doing it to myself. I mean, if you get the insanity of that. But people do that. I've proven it for myself. I've done it myself in the past. And so the recognition is about how we are treating ourselves, how we treat our relationship, how we treat our partner. It's really what comes, that's what I want to talk about, the art of spiritual relationship. Because the title was sort of a global title. It's an umbrella title for a bunch of different things I talk about. But I'm starting today. You can relate. Yeah, I understand. Angela, this is something that I'm realizing that I'm teaching stuff from places that I've learnt, that I know, that I also know I'm not alone in. So, Miss Nubian Queen, nice to have you here. So this is a fundamental. So again, just recap quickly these pieces of the puzzle, because this is a again fundamental, base level part of having a spiritual relationship. The art of spiritual relationship is to get out of the codependent pattern is really what it comes down to. But below that is how to be with yourself, how to be with your partner, so that you relate and your relationship raises its vibration. Because for me, spiritual relationship isn't necessarily about, and instead of being not just about praying and meditating together, which is a nice part of it. But when I see a couple that does they have their meditation time and their prayer time together, then they go out and drive in traffic and get upset with each other. That's not spiritual relationship. That's lip service. And it does start with the self. Thank you, Carolina, for reminding me. So, and that's the thing, is in spiritual relationship, it always, because everything out there is how can I say this? Well, in my training, my master's degree in spiritual psychology, we talked about how our inner reality is a reflection. No, excuse me. Outer experience is a reflection of inner reality. That's what I'm trying to say. Meaning that how we are inside a relationship to ourselves is reflected by what's happening around us. Okay, try that on for a day. Just go through your day and be aware of what happens around you and see what is happening. How things are interacting with you, how you're interacting with things, how you're reacting and responding, how you're feeling about what's happening around you. That's going to be a benchmark for how your relationship inside is. Not so much fun is that, is it? Yeah, maybe not. But I want to make that clear to you, that we have the opportunity to use that, not to react to it, but to use that as a teaching for ourselves. If, for example, you're in traffic and you're upset by the people in front of you slowing you down where you want to go, what's being impatient inside? How can you be with yourself so that, one, you can either choose a different path? Our experience is a reflection of inner reality. Inner reality, actually, but inner workings, that same thing, yes. Yes. And that wasn't my quote, it came from my master's program, so I'm just sharing that. That's actually the funny part about this, Gail, is I've seen that happen where I make a point and I drop something into the lap of the audience and the hearts stop. So I'm hoping it's not a non-function of Periscope, it's just people going, ooh. So they're not tapping because they're like, oh. Their hands are busy. So, or they're making notes in the journals about things I've said, because I love the fact this is reaching people and there's value for people out there. So back to this key. And it's just peeling the layers of this. It is like boom. That's the thing, is there's a distinct pieces to this. Then this could be tumbleweed, fingers poised. Yes, it's a moment. This is the piece that is I'm as unpacking it. I mean, I'm just pulling on the more layers of it, but it's all come back to the same thing: relationship with self before relationship with partner. If you're single or in a relationship, it's vital to know this inside, because of the fact that we are going to be controlled by what's happening around us unless we take control and dominion ourselves. So the spiritual work begins, because meditation and prayer really bring us back into center. Well, if you start with bringing yourself back into center first, prayer and meditation gets easier first, and secondly, all your relationships will change around you, including work, family, business, as well as romantic. So this is a piece that I will probably talk further about, because I already know it's got more juice and more pieces than I've just talked about so far in this scope. But I want to make sure this is clear and give you. And again, I'm also waiting for because I get this inspiration that sort of falls in like from behind, where I'm waiting for the piece of the homework I need to provide for you to do. It will be something fun. Sure, it will be. So, to rewind just a touch, the layers of understanding. Thank you. The layers of understanding of your relationship with yourself doesn't end with your relationship. It's wherever you are all the time, because it's the one relationship you have for the rest of your life is the one with you. So with you. So to be in your own pool of awareness, your consciousness, and relating to yourself and understanding who you are and how you react is a lifelong journey, because it doesn't stop. You don't. How to say this? We're never perfect. We're always excellent, but there's also perfection and imperfection. So that's one of those Gordian knots, how to figure that one out. The bottom line is that we are always evolving, and we're great where we are. There's always more to get, and we keep growing as we go through life. So why not do that intentionally? Why not have a conscious relationship with yourself to witness and be aware of your own reactions, responsiveness, so you can choose how you are in the world? Exactly, you are in a relationship with yourself. Because I spend a lot of time, writing and doing periscopes and other things. So I spend a lot of time in my own head. So I'm becoming more aware of the things I'm changing and the things I'm embracing, because it is a journey of continuation. And my emotional state is getting stronger and healthier every day, because I'm choosing to do the work every day. And that will probably become the core. It's going to become part of my teaching next week when I start launching what I'm not sure is going to be called my spiritual scopes or my soul scopes, or whatever it's going to be about love and about self-relationship. That's another, that's a preview of things to come next week. Again, thanks to Carolina for that inspiration. So back to the love relationship conversation about the art of spiritual relationship. Your choice, your opportunity, your invitation is to choose each day. Thank you. To choose each day to catch yourself, or to honor yourself by stopping yourself in the reaction to something outside. So this is true for if you're single or in a couple, with your partner or out in the world. If you can be aware, not even spend, if you can just be aware that you catch yourself one time a day, it could be 20 times a day, but if you can do it one time a day as a start, that's a good start. If you can, thank you, Judah, for sharing. If you can you can catch yourself before you react, or at least in the early stages of reaction to something happening around you, and you can bring it back in and look at it and go, oh, I did this and this, then you can change it. And in spiritual relationship, in the art and dance of spiritual relationship, absolutely, this subtlety, this simple thing you do will change every relationship, especially the one with yourself. So again, this is your homework assignment. I knew it was coming. Is that your opportunity each day is to be conscious and aware enough of your reactivity to anything. And if you're in a relationship, particularly with your partner, if you're single, with any prospects or any people out there you relate to and connect to, is if you can be aware enough, conscious enough, present enough, that's a better way of putting it, to catch yourself before you jump into reactivity, so that you can say, whoa, Nelly, hang on a second. What's happening here? Because if you are reacting to the car, it works in all relationships, absolutely. If you can capture, and again, I use traffic because I'm in LA, so lots of traffic stuff here. If you can be conscious enough that when somebody does something in traffic ahead of you, yes, exactly, there's your homework. I love the fact everyone knows each other. This is cool. If you can be conscious enough to capture that, to be present enough to yourself, so that when something happens out in the world that triggers you, pushes your buttons, you can go, whoa, hang on a second. Why is that happening? If you have inquiry into what happened, because it's not about just saying, stop it, I won't do it again. If you can be conscious and present to it, then there can be change. And you can simply have an investigation into, and this sounds big, but it's really simple. It's like, okay, why is that happening? Oh, I wanted to be there and I'm running late. Okay, I'm judging them because I'm running late. And the truth is I left late. You know what? I'll make peace with that. I'll text them and say, I'm running 5 minutes late, I'll see you soon. Done. It can be as simple as that. Because a lot of times people's reactivity to traffic hold-ups is because they had a commitment in here or out there to be somewhere. You call this recognizing a soul voice versus the ego voice. Perfect, Gail. That really sums it up. I just call it, I won't say soul voice as much as consciousness, presence, but I agree with what you're saying. Absolutely, Gail. So you're right on track. So it's that ability to be more than one thing. Because there's the ego reactiveness, perhaps, saying, like, I'm going to be out there all the time. Afternoon, Ian. Good to have you, sir. It's actually the finessing of that is to be aware that there's more than one aspect inside of you. Oh my God, multiple personalities. No, not quite. It's the ability to see that you have your automatic responses, and then you have your conscious volition choices going, maybe I don't need to do that. And to choose something different. And to actually be aware of it happening so that the next time it happens, you actually catch it earlier. And then you catch it earlier. And eventually you are aware of it even building inside before it comes out so nobody else notices. And you get to choose differently. The ability not to believe you are everything. I lost the end of that one. Sorry. Yeah, because we're not. It's recognition of who we are. So the art of spiritual relationship really begins in here. What a revelation! Because everything is a reflection back to yourself. So that's the roundabout way getting to the topic at the back end. Is the relationships out there, particularly with the ones that are most intimate and close to you, will more likely, if you're in a conscious relationship, bring up all your stuff. And this I've spoken about before, but I'll drop it in here because it fits in the path of the conversation. That we tend to be reactive the closer the relationship is to us. So our intimate partnership, our love life, our relationship partner will tend to be the one that triggers us most. More than the kids, more than the parents, more than our business partners. That's the benefit, the gift, and the intention of relationship. Oh my God. But it is. It's the consciousness, it's the understanding that you choose relationship for the growth. Not because they look cute and because you think you'll be happy and safe. Yes, those are part of it. And I did a scope yesterday about support, which is a powerful piece of this. You want to go back and watch my scope from last night. It was almost dark when I finished that one. It was a good scope. But that was another piece. But in this context, to speak about the fact that your opportunity in primary, intimate, loving relationship is to receive the gifts from your partnership of all the triggering they do for you, unconsciously. Because if they're doing it intentionally, that's not a good, healthy relationship. It's usually done unconsciously. Because they will do things that will trigger you. Congratulations, you've chosen well. Yes, okay. That wasn't meant to be sarcastic, but it's the end of the truth. The better we choose our relationships, the more we grow. That is the choice about the art of spiritual relationship, is choosing consciously to grow beyond what we've done before. So, I'm feeling myself hitting a break or hitting a stop right now. So, that's a lot of stuff I've laid in your lap the last 30 minutes. So, if you just joined late, you certainly will go back and watch the beginning. This conversation, or I should say this dialogue or this download has come through and it's evolved through this half an hour. So it didn't start here, but it ended up here. So, any thoughts, questions you want to add into this? I've caught most of the ones going through. But any questions about this or any add-ons to what I've said? I welcome those. So I've got a bunch of folks in the room still. I would welcome you in. Hang on a second. You'll slurp. You tap for my giggle. Thank you, Gail. I appreciate that. My pleasure, Carolina. And thanks for your support and inspiration, both of you. I appreciate that. That's really the point I want to make. And this is the beginning, by the way. This is not the end of this conversation. I'm going to go on with this, and this may end up becoming a conversation every day, because I've tapped into something. I'm realizing there's more pieces to come, but I'm not sure what they are right now, so I'm not going there. So I just want to put this on the table and to make this available to you. So if you do have a chance, please go back and watch my scope from last night. That was about support, about how men and women experience and ask for and give support differently. And that was a good starting point, and that evoked a lot of response too. And you're in Brazil. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure. Again, you can find out more stuff in my book. I do talk about this in chapter 6, I think it is the art of spiritual relationship is in here as well. I didn't speak in the chapter, I just spoke spontaneously here on the scope, but you read about it in the book too. And this book you find on Amazon, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. That's available as a physical book, as you can see. Also as a Kindle edition. It's also my website as an ebook. And if you go to just give you links to go check my stuff out. Sorry, I have to find all the pages. If you want to get the book on my website, the PDF version, you can find it here. All my website stuff is barryselby.com. Go to the book, /book to get the book. Also, if you're looking for help in your relationship, sorry, I'm just finding all my notes here. Talk amongst yourselves, I'll be right there. If you're looking for help in the area of, here it is. This is what it's for. Yeah, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover is on Amazon. Yeah, it's definitely a good topic. So, this is, by the way, if you're using Keep Fixing Broken Hearts, thank you for that. If you are, if you're already broadcasting on Periscope, you want to know about Catch.me, so there's a little plug for the app and also for my page. Catch.me is a free service that saves your Periscopes. So if you're broadcasting Periscope, we should blab on it. Gail, I'd love to. Let's set one up. We'd have fun with this. Yes, agreed. We should do blab on this. Okay, I'm making agreements already. We're going to have fun with this. Catch.me/barryselby is where you find all the archives of my scopes. Yes, I am up for it. Yes. This is where there's about 170 scopes out there now. I've done a lot of scopes. Catch.me/barryselby. Yes, exactly. That's where you find all the archives of my scopes, and I've done that either hashtagged or hyphenated. Love Doctor is in the house. Yes, indeed. Hi, Joyce. Is Catch.me/barryselby, and all the ones out there are love scope, either hashtag love scope or love-scope, because I didn't change that to hashtag till about 100 scopes in. But there's tons of stuff out there about love and relationships, all about different parts of the commentation about love and relationship. And I will be. I'll be on a bit later, in fact, in about an hour and a half. Actually, less than an hour and a half, as part of the Share-a-thon today. I'll tell you about that stuff then, not now. If you want to find out more about me, just go to barryselby.com. So, my website, my book, my programs, my work. Thank you for that. All my stuff is at barryselby.com. All right? The book's there. So is for the ladies, by the way, for the single ladies, I do have an online program available for you, which I've condensed down into an ebook, and I'm about to put the price up. So if you wanted that, it's called Your Dating Advantage. Gail, do you want to do a blab on it? Yes, I do. Yes, I do want to. Gail, yes, I want to do a blab with you about this. We can talk about it on Blab. Is that clear? All the single ladies, yes, all single ladies. For all single ladies, this is the last day. It's going to be this price. Your Dating Advantage is a workbook that I took from an 8-week online program that was originally $400. It's now $49, but it's going up tomorrow. We both keep laughing. That's okay. We can take more time. Gail, the thing about Blab is it's not scheduled timeline limit. We can go for an hour and a half laughing. If we do it half the way through, it's fine. We can do that. So, sorry, I'm just doing comments back and forth. Yes, thank you. So again, for the single ladies who are looking for attracting and creating a vision of what they want, this is my baby, my favorite program. It was an 8-week program that was $400. It's now a workbook format for now, and it's here, bit.ly/dating workbook, dating WB, and it's $49. It's going up tomorrow. So I'm letting you know that's the last time this is going to be available for this price. So for the single ladies looking for love in the wrong places, want to do it the right way, this will be create a vision, an intention, and a magnetism to attract what you really want. There you go. So that's my promo for the day. Hi, Mompreneur, you're just getting in at the back end of my scope. I've just been going through this. This has gone for almost 40 minutes. Really, really cool stuff. $9.99? Was it meant to be 49? I'm not sure what you're doing there. Sorry, Joyce, maybe qualify what you said. This is the end of what became a kind of evolving conversation about spiritual relationship. So, and this is the beginning of a conversation that's going to go further. So please go back and watch it from the beginning in the replay. And in the replay, by the way, folks, you can tap on the screen to give hearts as well. And you can't comment, though. And you can watch online as well. So just follow me on Periscope, because I've got a lot of stuff coming up. And there's a lot of hearts coming. So I'm just going to see if any of my questions coming up, because I don't want to let those, I want to keep those hearts going. Any questions, thoughts, and if you came in late, if you want to ask anything that I may have covered before, I'll recap quickly for you, rather than forcing you to back to watch the replay. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And I'll hang out for a second or two. Yes. Yes, they're all saved on Catch. Yeah, Judah, Catch is the place. You go on to Catch.me, you set up an account, tie to your Twitter account, it's all free, and in the settings you say save you catch your scopes. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I recommend it highly. And they keep improving Catch, like they keep improving Periscope, so now you can save landscape. They embed the comments and stuff, so it all works properly now. So you have none there as well. You have none there? Yeah, so I've got a ton on those. Yeah, I'm on there too, yes. There will be a delay. Oh, how many hours is there to go until your deal ends? Oh, that deal is going to midnight tonight Pacific time, so it's after midnight for you. So it goes to 8 a.m. your time, because you're in the UK. Yeah, so that deal is available till midnight tonight Pacific time. So yeah, all right. Thank you, Gail, for being here, Gail. And yes, let's follow up. Let's talk about doing a blab on this, because you and I have a lot of overlap of conversation. And with your accent, my accent, it should be a lot of fun, and the giggles too. Okay. Any other questions? Any thoughts before I sign off? Again, if you joined the scope late, please go back and watch it from the beginning on the replay. We got deep, and this is just getting warmed up. Or I'm just getting warmed up. So we're going to do more of this over the next. Well, this is Tuesday, so at least for the rest of the week. And I'm going to start next week doing scopes that are purely about spiritual living, which will include relationship, as well as my love scopes and occasional peri tips. There's out into the world. Thank you, Carolina, for nudging me on that. So, any other thoughts, questions before I sign off? Again, please watch the replay. I'll be back on again in about an hour and 10. Do that, I will. Well, I'll be back on in the Sherathon in about an hour. So, thank you, Carolina. We'll be talking more, and I'll be watching for your scope too. Okay, any questions, any thoughts? I think we're wrapping up. Thanks for watching, and again, please watch the replay if you just joined me. This was good stuff, and I'll be back on again later. Okay, I will see you later on. Take care of yourselves, and oh, by the way, love yourself more than you did yesterday, and tomorrow, do it again. I'll see you later. Bye.